Let the games begin. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this fine day. I am Aaron Zero, and this is the first cast of week one of the newly renamed Pacific Brawl League. Yes, that's right, we are no longer the AUSEA in house Archon and under in house games. We are now the Pacific Brawl League, so it's a brand new day and a brand new logo for our young league, which has already entered its fifth season, but you wouldn't know. Or I think it's the fourth. Yeah, that's the fourth. We're entering the fourth season of this league, so we finally give it a proper name, and now it looks great, I'd say. Um, Let us begin with introductions to this matchup between Pepe Rebel and Maggie 2 Minutes. So this will be a battle between the old guard team of Maggie 2 Minutes, who's been around ever since the first iteration of this league, and Pepe Rebel, one of the newest members of the Pacific Brawl League. So, will the vets be able to teach the rookies how things is done, or will the rookies shock everyone and show them that even the new kids on the block got some style? All right, so let's introduce first the players on both sides. We have Captain CKNK Goodman, the Rebelicious Pepelicious of David and Guacy of Pepe Rebel. Meanwhile, on the other side of the river, we have Maggie 2 Minutes and Captain BTM Crazy Monkey. I believe this is a sub Chick Hicks, because Chick Hicks typically is registered under Big Farmer, but I think Maggie 2 Minutes requested for a sub in this one, so Chick Hicks will join M2M. DR347 and the Fire Burns. Pepper Rebel is starting off the draft with some fireworks, banning out the Timber Saw and the Silencer, and immediately picking up the Disruptor. I think this Timber Saw ban was specifically aimed because they're looking for a draft that will incorporate a ton of strength heroes, and of course, picking up Disruptor means that now they have that kind of hero who can not only initiate and start fights with the glimpse and trap them as well with the kinetic field, but can also make hurt with that static storm and thunder strike as well. Maggie 2 Minutes responding by banning out Tinker and Rubik. So two of probably the most cancer heroes to deal with. Tinker, of course, due to its incredible global presence, burst damage, and ability to be an annoying backliner who you just can't reach thanks to its extended range and skills. Same thing with Rubik, who pretty much just makes a ton of lineups unplayable due to its ability to steal spells. Maggie 2 Minutes establishing its off lane very quickly, picking up the Mars and the Gyrocopter. So this is a very strong kill lane. You have a pair of stuns, Mars an instantaneous stun, Gyrocopter with the stun that arrives in like 5 to 6 business days or so. But the Gyrocopter can also deal a ton of magical damage with its Rocket Barrage, and Mars can follow up as well with Garena, trapping them in with the Call Down. Pepper Rebel respond by picking up the Snapfire, and I'm not sure if the Snapfire is going to be playing support or if it's going to be playing a core position. That's how versatile Snapfire is in this meta. So, interesting pick so far from Pepe Rebel. They look like they have their backline pretty much sorted out. They have like a ton of damage in the kisses as well as the static storm. You also have some initiate with the glimpse static field lockdown as well as that cookie, which can be used by Snapfire to stun its target or use launch himself or a allied hero to stun the enemy. So again, they have their stuns, and I'm not sure how reliable they have their initiates. I'd say, although not really more initiates, more of like a counter initiate in that regard. 92 minutes draft is a bit more straightforward, of course. This is a very strong off-lane duo, and can't wait to see how it fares in this game. Pepe Rebel immediately banning out the Slark, probably in response to this draft. They realized they needed a hero that's capable of protecting their backline. 92 minutes on the clock, they ban out the Dawnbringer, which kind of makes sense though, because if Gyrocopter Mars initiates, Dawnbringer is going to use her Solar Guardian ability to heal up anyone caught inside the arena. So it might be pretty bad for M2M to allow Dawnbringer to come in, especially as it can synergize well with the Snapfire, Kisses, and of course the Static Storm. So 3 seconds left on the clock for Pepe Rebel. Pepe Rebel looking for the second ban in their ban phase. Let us see what Pepe Rebel decides to bring into the table. 1 minute 26 seconds left in this draft as well. So in this one, I mean, Pepper Rebel does have some holdovers
Fire
from
team
previous
ban.
seasons. Whack 2 specifically, who now goes by the name CKNK, is playing here for Pepper Rebel. And also, there are those who are asking, this league does have 9 teams. Yes, we have 9 teams registered for this league, which also means that one team will
10
have
seconds
a bye
remaining.
week, and this week it belonged to last season's runner-up, Big
5
Farmer. So
seconds
that's the
remaining.
reason why Chick Hicks was available for subbing in this game. So, but it depends, of course, on when, if, and probably when we decide to start adding more teams, which is totally possible given the number of players who do want to compete as well. This is, I think, is a purely Australian server game, so I don't
Team
think
ban.
we will be seeing any kind of lag or latency issues on both sides. Update on the bans: Pepper Rebel ban out the Sand King, but Maggie 2 minutes counter with the Outworld Destroyer. So another cancer hero that Maggie 2 minutes
10
does not
seconds
want to go
remaining.
up against. They're primarily protecting the mid lane though, because two of their bans
5
so far
seconds
have been
remaining.
specifically for mids. And and you can also
Fire
posit that
team
even the
ban.
Rubik can also potentially go mid as well. Pepper Rebel counters by banning the Primal Beast, so now they're seriously targeting um, the mid lane as well. So I think Pepper Rebel's draft is like a bit more all encompassing. They banned a pair of off lanes, a carry, and
10
a
seconds
pretty
remaining.
versatile hero can go either mid or off lane, even support. That they're not
5 seconds
ready for
remaining.
this Primal Beast, and probably they don't want to start dealing with it
Fire
either.
team pick.
So last ban for Maggie 2 minutes is the Sniper. Which makes sense though because they have a ton of backline with Disruptor and Snapfire and a couple of heroes who are good at protecting the Sniper, so it makes sense for them to ban it out. However, there are other heroes in the pool who I think could be really good for both these
10
teams and are
seconds
still very
remaining.
much in. Like I can see Pepper Rubber going for a
5 seconds
initiator, someone
remaining.
like Axe, someone like Doom,
Radiant
someone
team pick.
who can provide the catch. Basis Void especially. Maggie 2 minutes first pick out the Chakiro, so more synergy with the Mars arena. So it does really put a premium on Mars to be able to land those arenas pretty well because now he has two heroes who are reliant on Mars
10
getting good
seconds
setup,
remaining.
but they will have a ton of magic damage coming their way. There's another
5
stun
seconds
in
remaining.
Jakiro's Ice Path and her shard, that Frost Breath. Pepper Rebel has 1 minute 15 seconds left on the clock. Let us see what they decide to pull out of the hat for this one. So, hold on, apologies. We
Radiant
will
team pick.
see audio a bit
Dire team pick.
so you guys can hear a bit more.
Life
Goes
stealer.
on. Alright, so Pepe Rebel decided to go frontline really early, getting the Spirit Breaker Bomb with Life Stealer. So, a pretty common combo for this one is that you get Spirit Breaker, you have Life Stealer Infest, and Spirit Breaker then starts to charge,
10
and then
seconds
when you
remaining.
hit past the targets, Life Stealer bursts from the Infest, giving even more
5
damage. So, great
seconds
synergy
remaining.
so far from Pepper Rebel. It was also really tanky. Have a very tanky lineup in this one with Spirit Breaker, with Life Stealer, and even the Snapfire, both really tanky. Of course, it's gonna be a hell of a time for Pepe Rebel to have that kind of front line and something for Nagi 2 minutes needs to deal with when it comes to the draft. Um, it also pretty much telegraphs that this Snapfire is going to be a core snap. I think you can be played either in the mid or in the off lane, but I think it's going to be an off lane snap in conjunction with the Gyrocopter. In response to the Gyrocopter Mars combo, this Shakiro though may probably be going to the boss 5 as a result. Let's see who Maggie Tumin decides to select as their
Radiant
carry.
team ban.
They end up picking the
Anti-mage.
Anti-Mage, one of the heroes that has gotten a massive boost due to the new changes in patch 7.32e. Anti-Mage became one of the biggest beneficiaries, and as a result, a lot of people have been playing Anti-Mage a lot more recently. So it should be interesting to see how
10 seconds
Bagington
remaining.
decides to pilot this AM. They now have their backline catch.
5
Um,
seconds remaining.
Definitely preparable things to accommodate for, especially when now that they start banning out their next heroes. Both heroes look
both teams rather look like they'll be looking for a mid lane in this one. So let's see if the mid lane will indeed be a call for both Pepper Rebel and M2M. Remember, Snapfire can be flexed as a mid. Shakiro's also seen some players in mid. It's not really that good. So like I
Right.
imagine
Team
they'll be
ban.
looking for a mid. In this one, Pepper Rebel banning out the Necrophos. They're probably assuming that they're gonna be needing either an offlane or a really tanky mid, which they believe complements Maggie 2 Minutes' playstyle. I mean, yeah, Mars can tank a lot, but I think they need another frontliner in order to be able to make
10
these
seconds
either make
remaining.
these initiations count or another one who can also deal damage. Because you have
5 seconds
anti-mythic skirting
remaining.
on the sides looking for openings to blink into. So it makes sense for M2M to be looking for a mid laner who can also initiate, who can uh, complement this Mars in setting the tone of the game. Remember, Pep Rebel has a more ganking lineup, I'd say, for this one. So
Radiant team ban.
that's what I'm banning out. Maggie 2 Minutes does ban the Shadow Fiend, recognizing that this tri strength lineup of Pepper Rebel may benefit from having one of the game's best gas cannons in the game in the Shadow. Although I'm not really sure
10
how
seconds
confident they
remaining.
should be the Shadow Fiend, given that Maggie 2 Minutes does have an AM.
5
So
seconds
again,
remaining.
you don't have much in a way to protect AM unless they manage to cast a really good
Fire team
healing
ban.
smack on them. Pepper Rebel does ban out the Pugna as well. So two heroes with one thing in common, their ability to go ethereal as well as to heal. Um, in Pugna's case, he can make himself or his ally ethereal or his enemy ethereal as well, while
10 seconds remaining.
Necrophos can make himself ethereal as well. So maybe looking for some mid which
5
deals a
seconds
ton
remaining.
of physical damage, given that they're banning out heroes which protect themselves from physical damage, can heal up pretty quickly, as well as make them pay for using all their spells with the Nether Ward and the Reaper Scythe, respectively, for Pugna and Necrophos. So the old men of Poggers, they're not gonna be they're not gonna be able to
Radiant
at least
team
get a
pick.
hero who's gonna stop all that. Ember Spirit is banned out by Maggie 2 Minutes as we enter the
Dire
final phase
team
of the
pick.
draft, and it is the puck. Now you know why they want a hero that goes ethereal, though. I'm not so sure about this puck. I mean, yeah, now they suddenly have a playmaker, someone who can, with the plasma coil, or with the dream coil rather, allowing them to combo into the static
10
storm and the
seconds
crystals,
remaining.
but it puts a lot of onus on the puck. And so far, and Maggie
5
units have
seconds
one of Buck's
remaining.
best counters, the AM. Since Buck is a bit mana dependent on the heroes, they decide to go for the
Choose
Tiny.
your hero.
That's your additional playmaker, and that's someone who can set the tone for Maggie 2 Minutes. Now, overall, draft wise, I do like M2M's lineup. It feels a lot more simpler to execute. They have a lot really fast timing with the this tiny blink. And as for Pepper Rebel, they need a couple of things to go their way, specifically this Spirit Breaker Bomb, as well as the Puck Initiate for Snapfire and Disruptor. They need to be picture perfect and on point for them to be able to capitalize on their skills. Maggie Dominion just needs to rely on the Mars being able to land Arena, and of course Tiny being able to get the backline. In this case, they do have the control necessary for Puck, with the AM, Jakiro, and with Jakiro, with Mars, and with Gyro. So let's see if they're going to, if we are going to get a very exciting competitive one, or most likely another one-sided stomp. I mean, of course, we all want that competitive gameplay because that's all we live and breathe for. But of course, Stomp wouldn't be so bad either in this case because at least we get some entertaining Dota, none the less. Okay, as you can see, we now have our very snazzy Pacific Brawl
Prepare for
League.
battle.
No, no.
there. All right, so let's begin with the rundown where we introduce the heroes and the heroes who are running them. On the Radiant side, you have Pepe Rebel, CKNK on the puck, Goodman on the Disruptor, Rebelicious Pepelicious on the Life Stealer, uh, David on the Spirit Breaker, and Gwei on the Snapfire. On the other side of the river, you have the Dire side. Maggie 2 minutes, BTM on the Tiny, Crazy Monkey on the Anti-Mage, Chick Hicks on the Gyrocopter, DR347 on the Jakiro, and the Fire Burns on the Mars. Yes. So both teams are now jockeying around for position. In this case, it looks like it will be a DR347. It will be a DR347 support in this one, whereas on the other side of the map, Gwei David and CK King Goodman are positioning themselves, probably looking for a kill pretty early in this one. Actually, look at the vision wise, so they have a ward planted here in the mid. On the other side, no wards yet planted, so let's see if they're going to be able to take this one. Positioning wise, both teams need to be secure to take a couple of runes. I don't think we'll be getting a rune war anytime soon, and we will not. Alright, so bounties both taken by both teams. And now we get to see the blocking, I suppose, for mid lane. So let us begin this matchup between M2M and Pepe Rebel on the mid lane, BTM and CKNK. Trying to establish control of the wave. Although BTM does get the deny, thanks of course to the great damage from the 3-tree throw. On the bot lane, the Fire Burns and Rebellious Pepelicious. That is going to be a long one, while Chick Hicks and Goodman are training away on the other side of the map. Probably the instruction was we're just gonna leave you to deal with Goodman and allow the Fire Burns to just be able to just go one-on-one on the Life Stealer. On the other side of the map, DR347 and Crazy Monkey are jostling for position against David and Gwei. It looks like David will be playing an off-lane Spirit Breaker in this one, so interesting. I think it means that there'll be a much faster moving Pepe Rebel lineup for this game. Let's hit a quick saunter at mid because we're probably seeing some sort of action here in the bot lane. Crazy Monkey does hit level 2, but he is falling behind CS wise, especially to David, who does have 5 CS to Crazy Monkey's 3 on the other side of the map. There you go. On the other side of the map, we have Chick Hicks just continuing to hammer away. Crazy Monkey now is dropping low. David forces him to blink out. Early use of the blink in order just to keep himself alive, and I think that's it for that fight. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, looks like the Life Stealers want to get a bit of more Nick and Chew, but he does pop up the Rage in time, and it saves him from the homing missile. Gwei is pretty deep here, I'd say. They have managed to not block the Dire safe lane camp, a Dire small camp. However, it may not be necessary though because they're pretty pushed in. So like, I think it's okay for him not to use it. And Burns is requesting to pause. 300 ping, he says, on this Mars, which is weird though because he's doing okay CS wise. Like he has 11 and 1 to 13 and 1 on the side of the Rebel Man. But I mean I understand though. He wants to be able to secure those CS. Crazy Monkey also electing to disconnect as well. So maybe there is some merit to what the Firebirds is saying. He's probably hoping that it's not going to, not just him at least, who's having internet issues. I mean, it's a fact of life whenever you deal in SEA or in SEA, even Australia. Unfortunately, we get lag spikes out the wazoo, making it difficult for you to play a hero effectively, especially a hero that does require some good timings in the Mars. So on the other side of the map, Crazy Monkey has bought the boot, but I think he'll be skipping the Wraith Fan in this one. He's losing lane pretty heavily to David. He's having a pretty good time on this one. 11 last hits as compared to Crazy Monkey's 8. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, the rather Goodman, though, attempting to use the glimpse to save himself from a potential attack by Chick Hicks, but Chick Hicks will now get himself a bounty room. Meanwhile, on the other side, Guisi is positioned mid against with CKNK, probably hoping to secure another a water rune for CKNK to use, as well as using that illusory orb in order to pick up that last creep. Courier snipe by Chick Hicks, as well as him being able to ward the anti creep blocker. So yeah, he does manage to make sure that this is spawned, but unfortunately he will not be able to stock up anymore. Wazy though does immediately move bottom. Are they probably looking to finally get first blood at this one? Firebird is level 4, right behind him is Chick Hicks. Goodman and Wazy decide to push up. Glimpse back is used, Rage as well, and Chick Hicks trying to use all the stuns, and Chick Hicks is unable to save his lane partner. The Fire Burns is dead. First blood is taken by the side of Pepe Rebel. Great first blood, I'd say, for Pepe Rebel, showing that they're willing to move across the map actively in order to get lane advantages, specifically as Lifestealer wasn't doing so hot in the lane. So they decided that yeah, we're gonna be helping in this one. Chick Hicks though, excellent use of the homing missile in order to prevent any kind of glimpse back, though he is forced to glimpse anyway. Chick Hicks managing to force Human to use his glimpse to save himself. On the other side, BTM is now looking at CKNK, but CKNK does hit both the Waiting Rift and the Illusory Orb, and BTM will be forced to back off. Meanwhile, on the top lane, Wazy does go hard at Crazy Monkey. Crazy Monkey though is dropping low, but Wazy has no more mana. Wazy though is also dropping low as well. Can DR get this kill? Wazy is hiding in the trees, probably looking to hope to re-engage. David is hitting at DR, and the DR is forced to get out of there. So David actually doing a good job protecting his support Wazy from getting ganked. He does have the face boot already at 5 minutes, so pretty good stuff. Crazy Monkey though is now dropping really low, so I don't think he'll be looking to pursue this any longer. However, the Revelicious one is getting gone on. The rocket flare and the homing missile is enough to take him down. Revelicious has fallen to the Firebirds and Chick Hicks, so once again really showing this is really a kill lane. I mean, Firebirds and Chick Hicks can look to easily take kills if necessary, especially as Rage can be baited with the homing missile. Be interesting to see how he responds to that. Wazy though does end up moving up mid, probably hoping to help trying to distract BTM. But is Wazy going to fall? Nope, not enough. He doesn't have enough mana, but meanwhile, Chick Hicks does manage to take out Goodman. BTM though is forced to retreat. Wazy and Goodman making immediate rotations all over the map, probably to help out their mid. Now again, the mid does have the did pick up the rune. I'm not sure what it was specifically, but Lavi, I suppose. Revelicious is still staying solo lane against Chick Hicks and the Firebirds, but I'm pretty confident about his chances here in the lane, especially as he does have what I think is going to be the phase boots. He does have his courier flying back, so yes, it will be the phase boots that is up for him. The Firebirds and Chick Hicks probably looking to get a kill on Mr. Revelicious, who is happily soloing away. Meanwhile, Goodman level 2 with the glimpse back, but probably not going to use it because they don't want them to overcome. They want them to commit and then realize that these two have far more killing potential than realized. He does manage to force CKNK back into the
Fountain, so BTM will get a ton of free experience here on this side, and now we'll push in the wave on this side of Maggie 2 minutes. Meanwhile, in the top lane, David has gone pretty quiet against DR34 against DR and Crazy Monkey, allowing Crazy Monkey to start make the rehab. Never mind though, just as I say that, David, realizing his chance, uses the Charge of Darkness on Crazy Monkey. Crazy Monkey is dead. Even score so far for both teams. Rebelicious does have the hand of minus, so it does expect this game to go a bit a while. Arena though is used, and Kinetic Field and the static and the Thunder Strike may be sufficient, or not really at all. Goodman does end up falling, but CKNK does come in with the Haste Rune. He does get the Dream Coil locked in on both Firebirds and Chick Hicks, and they are both fallen. Great kill from a great response rather from CKNK, who's been winning the rune battle so far against BTM, who's no, it's not really behind, so it should be fine. Nether Strike has been used by David, and with that Scatter Blast, Crazy Monkey once again falls. Crazy Monkey not having a very good lane as well against Gracie and David, two heroes with innate stun lock, and with the use of the Nether Strike, he does manage to get the kill on carries. So far, both carries not exactly having the best of lanes, I'd say. Although except for Rebelicious, who is forced to get a hand of minus, just not able to have to recover. But is BTM going to be able to kill him? Probably not, especially as he does have David charging in. But David can't do much after that, so he's forced to retreat. Pretty good, pretty significant gold and experience change for the Radiant from that last couple of fights, I'd say, combined. DR347 does look like he's in trouble. The Snapfire Cookie does come in, as well as the Scatter Blast, or rather the Little Shredder, lowering DR's armor enough to bring him down. The Doctor has been taken to the grave by David and Wei C. On the other side of the map, Chick Hicks does manage to land a homing missile, but it is dodged thanks to excellent first use of the Infest. So I think he thinks he'll be safe for the time being, although they end up losing Goodman on the bottom lane. So far so good. Like Rebel Pepe are winning these early fights pretty quickly. Their early rotations started to pay off for the side of Rebel Pepe. Let's see if Maggie 2 minutes have an avenue to come back out of this one. Level 8 already on this Rebelicious Lifestealer. He does have the boots. He's really immediately going into the Radiance, probably hoping to disrupt all these Blink Daggers from the side of Maggie 2 minutes. Meanwhile, in the top lane, David once again taking down Crazy Monkey thanks to the use of the Kisses and the Nether Strike. Crazy Monkey, I don't think can stay in this lane any longer. And David decides to get the exclamation point as well, although Gracie does end up taking it away from him by taking out DR347. So, the Pepper Rebel have successfully won this top lane pretty convincingly, I'd say. Like, they don't really have an avenue in order for them for Crazy Monkey able to come back in that lane. So I said, alright, I'm pretty much gone from it. I'm just going to start farming up the mid lane and let's see where it goes. Meanwhile though, homing missile was used, but it was easily killed by the Shredder. All four members of the roaming group of Pepper Rebel are here. Do they spot out BTM? Nope, because BTM does get the avalanche, but the Dream Coil is locked, and is BTM going to try and snap it? No, he won't, and he never need that much kind of follow up. Although they are outnumbered in this one, Avalanche Toss is used. Is it enough to kill him? The Glimpse back though will try to attempt to secure it, but it's not enough damage yet. So DR does live through that. You want the bot lane, Rebelicious and the Fireburns are happily just trying to outfarm one another. They're both number 1 and number 2 with net worth at the moment. The Fireburns taking advantage of the fact that he has forced this Goodman Disruptor to start rotating. While of course Rebelicious is keeping up thanks to this kind of minus, going for a pretty greedy build, I'd say. BTM is probably looking at Wacy to initiate, but he doesn't really have that much yet. He does have the Medallion of Urge, which is him. He has completed the, or he gotten the Sage Mask, so I think he's just gonna try and skip the Echo Saber in this one and just go straight to Blink Dagger, which is indeed the item that which he has queued up next. What are they considering in this one? They're considering a kill on DR347. DR347 does hit the Ice Path just as he is hit by the stun by David. And David may be in trouble, though he is running back with the quickness. Call down has been used, as well as Macropyre to take out Goodman. I'm not sure if the Macropyre was needed, but I guess they wanted to make sure that Goodman was going to fall. Anyway, great. David, though, has other ideas. He decides he sees the he sees Mr. Crazy Monkey and he's gonna go for it, but unfortunately that will not be the case. So one fight from one fight from M2M. But now David with that Nether Strike means he is out of mana, but he does immediately replenish himself with the stick and he starts charging back because BTM has been caught by the coil as well as the kisses. However, is it enough to kill him? Probably not, thanks to the use of the Avalanche. But here comes David to save the day, and David does manage to take out BTM. David with the Charge of Darkness, mainly making moves all over the map and forcing M2M to pretty much stay on their toes for the majority of their fight. So really good kill, and it delay. And no, never mind, doesn't delay because he does have his Blink Dagger already. Might have been nice to delay the Blink Dagger timing, but I don't think it's too late for that. The Fire Burns and Rebelicious continuing to jockey away for position here in the bot lane. Although the wave is pushed pretty close to M2M's tier 1 bottom tower. So David is hit with the homing missile, but oh yeah, any follow up. Never mind, there it is. So Goodman is forced to pop the Static Storm in order to save himself. Goodman though is dead. Call down has been used. Is Call down going to be sufficient for them to secure another kill? Probably not. Although the Blink Dagger is now back on, but BTM decides to use his Avalanche anyway to start farming up as well. He's looking to finish the Echo Saber before the next fight, hopefully. But depending on when that next fight is going to be. Pretty another small win. Like so far, you can say that Pepper Rebel has been winning the bigger battles, but they're not exactly out of the woods just yet. Especially as BTM does get hit with the Charge Darkness and the Nether Strike, and the Scatter Blast finishes him off. BTM paying clearly for his greed down there, hoping that he could steal off that stacked hard camp without the side of Pepper Rebel noticing. So it's a pretty big kill. And it's going to delay the Echo Saber once again for Mr. BTM. So it looks like they'll be giving up this top tower to the side of Pepe Rebel, which kind of makes sense, I mean, given how much the potential there was, and it will allow Mr. Crazy Monkey to back off. He is very delayed on his Battle Fury timing, so I'm sure they'll be able to perform this one. They do manage to get the stun on David, who is infested, but the infest bomb has been used, although not really to save himself, and the arena. Yikes. Remember what we said that he needed the land picture perfect arenas in order to be able to save himself. He doesn't manage to do so. BTM though says, I don't need no arena, I just need to be able to land my combo, and he does so, successfully taking out Mr. Rebelicious. So he do manage to accomplish what they came here for. Dream Coil has been used by CKNK to take out the Fire Burn. So he decides to walk away though, but he does manage to cast the skillless with the illest. The glimpse tape his Waning Rift may have saved his life, or rather the Phase Shift may have saved his life, but it does end up costing DR for this 347 his own when the popping of the kisses. So another big fight won by the side of Pepper Rebel. This one, let's see how Pepper Rebel, or rather how Maggie 2 minutes responds. It's really deficit. Chick Kicks has been hit with all the skills from David. He also has the homing missile locked in, but unfortunately you only go on one, and Revolutious does manage to get the kill on Chick Hicks, who was just trying to pop him in. He was just trying to farm the mid. He wasn't looking to get anything, but no, he wasn't looking for anything until he found David, and now he's dead. So that's unfortunate. BTM does have the big tag already. He is again building towards this Echo Saber, which takes a long ass time. Meanwhile, on the side though, CKNK does have the Witchblade, and the Static Storm has been used along with the Kinetic Field. BTM is in trouble, but the Dream Coil rather does manage to land on him, but it ends up getting everyone else with the activation of the Call Down and the Macro Fire. Do they have the ability to retaliate? He does have Arena, but I don't think he'll be able to use it. The Fire Burn does, and the Falling Shard has been picked up by Chick Kicks, and Chick Kicks is in trouble. Chick Kicks is hit with Illusory Orb, and he is dead. 3 heroes down on the side of M2M, and there will be a fourth as CKNK manages to repay Rebelicious Depalicious' work in taking down the Jakiro. So another big fight won this time once again by Pepe Rebel, simply by skirting the fight, not letting Maggie Dominus be able to use their big team fighting ults to their advantage. The Radiance is now fully up for Rebelicious at this point. Meanwhile, his counterpart on the carry role, Crazy Monkey, is having a not so great time. He's still farming up, so it's going to take a while for him to be able to recover. And from that horrendous start at the top lane, and get the jab and get the rest of his items. He has a long way to go before it. Not really a long way to go. It's what 200 gold short of Battle Fury, which will allow him to accelerate his item times even further. BDM though is almost done with the Echo Saber. He does manage to pick up the Oblivion Staff, which is great for his mana problems, of course, on this hero. So let's see if BTM will actually be able to make space for his team, especially as the Pepper Rebel is beginning to push heavily into this bot tier 1. On the far side, God's Rebuke has been used just to try to force him out. He use Spear of Mars, yes he does so. Although again, I don't think that he's going to want to continue this one any further. Check Kick spots Goodman. Goodman feels he's going to die. Goodman is dead, but they end up catching Check Kick anyway. Nether Strike has been used as well as the Avalanche Toss, but it will not be sufficient to kill him. Dream Coil has been used in order to stop the advance of BTM. BTM is going to be safe. Meanwhile, Crazy Monkey does manage to kill Rebelicious with the help of the Mars. So good work so far. Avalanche Toss is used, but it will not be enough to stop David. This is a very tanky net. I'm surprised that they decided to go for Tiny in this one, unless of course Tiny starts building up the Aghanim Scepter, which will allow him to more quicker burst down Radiant cores. Specifically David, who's really making moves all over the map. Once again, the instantaneous cast of the Ice Path allowing him to stop David in his tracks. BTM is hunting to get the stun off. Nope, unfortunately, the Avalanche is a tad second too late. But the rest of M2M is starting to close in here on the top lane. And we're about to see a big fight happening. You have 3 heroes here on the side of Pepper Rebel. Also expecting a fight, but they're backing off. Meanwhile, Maggie Dominus decided, okay, we postured enough. Let's retreat to our jungle and continue to farm up. Especially as Crazy Monkey does now have the Battle Fury and is immediately working on the Manta style. So, again, with AM, it's a very typically cut and dry kind of build for him. So, I wouldn't blame them though if that is the case. They do spot out Chick is hit with all the skills. Goodman though is going to live. Yeah, he is. Mars Arena has been used just to stop the kisses. It will not save Chick Kicks, but it will be enough to kill up Goodman though. Goodman though is dead. Dream Coil has been used. M2M attempting to take this fight. Avalanche Toss has been used on the Macro Fire. Will it be enough to kill David? David is dead. And now, however, they managed to get CKNK. Toss has been used, but do they have enough damage? No, unfortunately. Whoops. However, BTM once again gonna get it. He does. BTM grabbing that double damage rune and finally taking the kill, but he's going to fall anyway as a result thanks to the glimpse back from Goodman. Goodman avenging his mid, and but maybe this fight isn't over yet. He does land the ice. DR does land the ice swarm. Gracie and Goodman are now chasing the DR, but I think this is going to be over. Probably not because you have Crazy Monkey closing in, but I don't think they'll be able to take more damage, and both sides decide to just call it a day. What a fight! What a fight from Maggie 2 minutes, and they've actually managed to win this one mainly by um, finally making use of their excellent team fight presence. Of course, taking out the support being killed pretty quickly. Um, Good work from Maggie 2 minutes. Back, I'm trying to see, probably just to see its momentum at this point. Like, I don't think we'll be able to take specifically any objective. We're not really a strong power pushing team by any sense of the word. Just by allowing them to dominate these mid fights, it gives Crazy Monkey the time he needs to farm up and catch up the to this game leading Life Stealer, who, like I said, already has the Radiance. He has already picked up the Yasha. He's probably going to go for the um saber as well. Do they see this? Yes, they do. Um, Arena has been used as well as the Static Storm, probably just to stop Gracie. Gracie is dead, but they end up killing Crazy Monkey anyway. With the but the stun though does come in and it traps everyone as well. Rebelicious probably looking to trying to escape through his uh, core, but however they do end up spotting out they do end up spotting out David. However, the call down has now been used. David is now caught in the trap from which he has no escape. David bringing down on his lonesome. Goodman has fallen. Revolution decided to come back and fight since he realizes that DR is low. Chick kicks us end up falling as well to CKNK, and now it will just be BTM's Tiny taking on Revolutious, and CKNK. Tiny decides to back off anyway. So one fight, or rather, yeah, actually M2M actually managed to get the better of that exchange, mainly because they managed to take down the um managed to take down the I think it was a life stealer. Hold on, let me check. No. They managed to take down David, so I think that was the cause of that. As although they did lose the carry as well as um both their supports. Not that bad, I'd say. If you're M, of course you have to factor that they did lose their carry. Who's going to get his Manta timing further delayed thanks to that death? He is building up the immediately going to the Basher. Like I said, pretty typical build for a for 92 minutes. However, Crazy Monkey though nearly manages to kill Goodman, and he decides to he instead decides to complete the rest 50. Well, this game is still pretty much dead even on the side of both teams. Um, let's see if they're able to, let's see if which team is able to pull away with the advantage on this one. Mid tower is denied by David, but then again, though, I mean, you don't really kind of need it anymore because the laning phase is largely ended. So let's see if both teams are capable of making the moves they need to seize the initiative in this one. Especially as they're both evenly tied. They are Pepper Rebel is posturing around this Roche pit if they have any ill intentions. Or sorry, apologies for that. Yeah, for this one, they do end up spotting spotting him. However, he does manage to hit him outside. Yikes! The fire burns may have griefed his team a bit there with that fight, and now the rest of Pepper Rebel are here to counter back. So unfortunate move. They actually did manage to get all that control, but it was not enough thanks to the fire burns kind of just messing it up a bit with his with that spear of Mars. However, they decided not to mess this one up because BTM does end up falling to the combo of hold on is used by Chick Kicks, but is Chick Kicks probably gonna live through this one? Maybe not, because he's in the middle of Pepper Rebel, and Pepper Rebel does not take no prisoners. Chick Kicks has fallen as well. Not only do they fail to kill Rebelicious, they end up losing two heroes on their own, especially this mid lane who is looking now to pick up the crystal. Is obviously gonna go for the for the Aghanim Scepter build, but it's going to be delayed even further thanks to that death. So, very yikes. Also, what's more yikes for Maggie 2 minutes? Roche, because now, thanks to this minus armor from the Snapfire with both Roller Crest, interesting, Solar Crest, as well as the Little Shredder, they're going straight into the Roche pit. Are they going to be able to take it out quickly? And don't think Maggie 2 is in a position to resist. And then we have David immediately spotting him out. The stun does manage to get the blink while David is dead. Thanks to BTM and DR347 managing to get that avalanche ice path. May have saved his life back there. However, they do decide to go on However, BKB has now been used. BTM does try to get the disruptor. Aegis has been popped. Chick Hicks is dead. But are they gonna have any follow-up? Probably. Rage is still on cooldown. BTM is hunting. Maybe not. Both teams have to back off. Yes. They'll be backing off on this one, except for the glimpse of the kinetic field, as well as the bomb managing to take out BTM. BTM is a bit of a disastrous one. And now, remember, we haven't used Kisses yet. We're gonna see it now. Kisses has been used to take down BTM, and now both Fireburns and Crazy Monkey are in full retreat. And even though they do lose the Aegis in that fight, they do manage to pretty much take this mid tier 2 for the Dire. So I think it's a good win for them. I'd say Fireburns is positioned pretty well. Not really. Meanwhile, Crazy Monkey is starting to just go back. He does have the Mithril Hammer, which means he's a ways away from getting his Skull Basher. But meanwhile, his counterpart, another Gary, who is leading everyone in net worth, he's at 18,000 net worth in 29 minutes. He does have the Basher as well and the Manta Style. So basically, the only thing difference in these two builds is that they got one farming item, which was the Radiance for Lifestealer and the Battle Fury for Crazy Monkey. But other than that, they're pretty similar builds. Dreamfall has been used as well as probably it though. However, he does end up spotting on, and he is hit by the Standing Star, and he is dead. So, and tips do come out for Crazy Monkey, but they do manage to respond in kind by taking out David. David's death though forces this Centaur with the infested one to get out. Are they going to do something about this? Yes, they are, because the arena has come in as well as the call down. But is call not going to be sufficient? No. Wait, he's still alive. Goodman's still alive. He is not anymore. And another homing missile has been used. That missile is being used to stalk, hunt, and kill Gwei C. So Gwei C is dead. CKNK is in a world of trouble if he is found. He is still under the effects of that smoke, or rather, you rather used an invisible rune. So I think he'll be able to get out pretty safely until he decides to do that. I think it's more of a security getaway more than anything else. The Fireburns is charged up though, so let's see if Burns. Oh, never mind, he canceled it. So Burnsy does manage to save himself from a pretty vicious fight. So now both teams are just gonna go back to farming. I'd say. I mean, Pepper Rebel do not have their supports, whereas the Crazy Monkey is still in full recovery mode. Though he is approaching his full build already. He is immediately building that Black King bar specifically for the Static Storm of Orbs. Chickix has been charged up, and he is the recipient of the Nether Strike and the Illusory Orb. Chickix has fallen. Meanwhile, BTM trying to do something about this, and he does. However, he doesn't have enough damage to get to Gwei C, and Gwei C hits him with the Scatter Blast for good measure. And Gwei C now has lured Mr. BTM into a trap. BTM is hit with the kisses as well, refusing to come in. Does he have enough? No, unfortunately, he does not. BTM does end up falling. Meanwhile, Rebelicious does manage to catch a TR, but TR immediately popping that Glimmer Cape to save himself. A disastrous fight from the side of Maggie 2
minutes. Rebel Pepe winning that one pretty well. And now we have the Infest Bomb. It is time for us to follow the Infest Bomb to Open Destination, which turns out to be the Mars. Mars, though, is forced to pop that BKB, but the bashes will come in. Mars is dropping low. The Fire Burns is in trouble. Mars Arena, rather, Spear Mars has been used. And the Dream Coil once again for Crazy Monkey. Crazy Monkey, though, is probably in trouble. Yes, he is now. He does manage to get hit with the status from which again there's no escape. Fall down is used as well as the ice path, but it will not be enough. Crazy Monkey does fall. DR Chick Hicks and the rest of Maggie Dominance are forced to retreat to the tier 3, but since this tier 2 is up, it would be pretty invincible thanks to that. So now in this time we're gonna try and push it in. What else could Maggie 2 Minutes do at this point? Maggie 2 Minutes is pretty much backed up against the wall here. They've lost the last few fights they've taken on against this faster moving Pepper Rebel side. Meanwhile, Pepper Rebel has been really reveling in the strength of the comp. They are making moves all over the map. They're making they're managing the pickoffs that they need. And now they're looking pretty swell, I'd say. Infest Bomb is going to be used once again. Do they have a target? It probably they do. It's the Fire Burns. The Fire Burns is in trouble. The Fire Burns is hit with all the stun spells. The Nether Strike. The Fire Burns is dead. Not even an Avalanche could save his life that time. Kinetic Field and Glimpse is used by Goodman, but BTM escapes with the dagger. Another lost fight for the side of another fight. So it's starting to skew now towards the Radiant, I'd say. Or this game is starting to skew now a bit closer to the Pepper Rebel Radiant side now because of the advantage they have. Actually, not really much vision being used in this game though. Both teams are kind of blinded ish with each other. I mean, you do have this very deep ward that allows them to catch out a ton of those initiates, but without the sight of true sight, it is impossible for them to get the kind of kills that they want on, or to evade rather this spirit breaker, life stealer, infest bomb combo. 25 minutes is now up. They do spot Crazy Monkey once again. Crazy Monkey is entering the base. Crazy Monkey is hit with everything. Crazy Monkey just got hit with another strike. Do they have enough to save Crazy Monkey? Crazy Monkey again blink. Again does manage to hit the but he does end up blinking out as well. Mars Arena is finally used. David is dead. Herbalicious is trapped, but the Static Storm has been used. However, he does manage to get him. Rebelicious is fallen. It does cost them Chick Hicks, but now the rest of the Radiant side are now in full retreat. Goodman is safe. Can Goodman get out? He does manage to have the blink. No, Goodman does manage to live. Thanks to the goated use of the tree line to keep him safe. Goodman is now just aggressively stalking BTM in exchange, but wow, that could have been a really good Infest Bomb fight, gank rather, against Crazy Monkey. Ended up being a fight where they lost their hero. However, they may look to something else in exchange. Crazy Monkey is hit with the leash. He unfortunately breaks it just as it expires. Crazy Monkey is dead. Yeesh, Crazy Monkey, not good for you there, sir. And meanwhile, Goodman and the rest of Pepper Rebel once again spot out DR. DR has fallen. However, BDM deciding that okay, you guys want to fight up there, we'll fight down here. So they do take the bottom tier 2 of the Radiant, this one. So meanwhile, you have Chick Hicks just trying to defend as much as possible, but unfortunately does get managed hit by that cookie stun and he is dead. Chick Hicks has fallen, and Gracie, Goodman, and DKNK doing the Lord's work for the Radiant side. On the other side of the map, just as BTM and the Fireburn decided we're just going to be using this opportunity to clear waves. Yes, so that correctly. Overwhelming Blink has now been picked up by CKNK Spock. He's now going for that Octarine Core for lower cooldowns and making it even more evasive on the side of enemy.
BTM forced to use the Avalanche in order for himself to escape. He does have the Crystallis and is now going for that Aghanim Scepter, which will give his team a ton of damage. Meanwhile, his core Crazy Monkey is still working on the Abyssal Blade just as we hit another pause, this time for internet, specifically for Wacy's internet problem. I like Wacy's build for a boss, not bad for a boss for Vampire. He's going for Solar Crest for even less armor, as well as the Blink Dagger just to get himself closer to take out the heroes. Meanwhile, they are going straight into the Rosh pit for the side of Pepper Rebel. They're probably hoping that they sneakily take this one before the rest of the Maggie 2 minutes arrive and send some units off. As to why no one else is showing the map, but they're all showing up here at Roshan. The richest hero in the game, of course, is Mr. Pepperlicious himself. He does have the AC fully built as well, so another item that he can use for that best wow. Alright, so since we're going to be taking a while, let's take a look at the Immortal situation. Though. Like, wow. Oh man, he doesn't have the backside, but that's okay. The rest of the set does look fire as well on that end, just as this guy, of course, is drinking to his death on the back line. Take a look at the Puck. What does Puck look like? He looks like a. Oh no, Puck has the Immortal on his back, making the uh, making the her dream core look more like a lotus flower, which is pretty cool. I'd say one of the nicer looking ones. And then you have David, which for whatever reason we cannot get a close up view, which is unfortunate because his skin looks pretty nice. Meanwhile, Crazy Monkey is rocking that anti-mage persona, as well as BDM, who is making use of that persona as well. And Fire Burns does have an Immortal, I guess. Never mind, because this game is now back on. Um, the side of Pepe Rebel is hoping to take Roshan with quickness, hoping, of course, that 92 minutes are now in a position to retaliate. They do have wards, a ward up here, so they will be able to see the enemy incursions coming. There will not be one, and Roshan is taken by the side of Pepe Rebel. So, Pepe Rebel is now trying to charge up back to the base of Baggy 2 minutes. They have Aegis. They have the shard, which they did give to. I believe it's none of them. Kronk. Who did they give the shard? Oh, interesting though. He does have the Aghanim Scepter all finished up. Never mind that. This would be good. Doesn't really matter anymore because they do manage to hit everything on Pepperlicious. Pepperlicious is starting to fall very low though. However, all of the skills used, Call Down has been used, Macropire has been used, and now do end up killing him anyway. Gwacy though is in trouble. Gwacy though does manage to kill BTMs. Maybe not that much trouble, I'd say. They also lose Crazy Monkey as well, and the Fire Burns usually joins them hereafter. Oh, he's the one who got the shard because of the use of Open Wounds. So, Open Wounds has been used by the side, or rather by Revolicious in order to really whittle them down though. Do they have enough to kill Pep? Do they have CKNK? Probably not. Especially as that Macropire. Especially as it does manage to miss the Ice Path. Rage has been used. He is in trouble. He was in trouble at least before he is force staffed and Glimmer Cape out of there. So 2 saves was not that bad, one after the other. But you got it. Macropire has been used as well as the stun Rage once again used just to be able to get away from that one. And yes, they do lose their ranged racks, but at least they don't lose their melee, which I think is the more devastating one. And they forced them to lose the Aegis. So, Aegis was indeed used in that fight, and they do manage to hold, I'd say. Though You can also argue that they didn't win that fight, of course. But so far so good. The side of Pepe Rebel. Maggie 2 minutes have an uphill battle to climb if they want to make it back to this. But let's see though if Maggie 2 minutes got that comeback gene in them in order for them to make this comeback. BDM is starting to build up the Aghanim Scepter. I think once he gets that, that's the big timing for this for this tiny, since it now deals so much damage, which is all physical by the way, which means it will go through rage. Let's see though if they can pull this one off, or if Pepper Rebel will be able to take game one. All right. Revelicious is managing to push out. Smoke up has been used by the side of. They do end up spotting him, and do they have enough control? Not yet. No, not really enough. Unfortunately, the dude missed the Mars Spear, so Rage though saves his life from what was a pretty good gank up until the point where I think the Fire Burns as Mars was put under a lot of pressure. He needs to be able to take these fights against, to be able to take the stun specifically. He has to be able to follow up the stun with the perfect use of the Mars stuns of the Spear Mars use. So probably not. David though doesn't need any kind of stun. He does manage to see the, however, BKB is used as well as the Magnifier and the fall down. Is it going to be enough to save Chicks his life? Probably not. Crazy Monkey though is forced to retaliate. Goodman though does end up dying anyway. But Arena has now been used. It does use to take out Wacy. This David is dead. Gracie Monkey does end up falling as well, but Gracie finally falls. The BTM is forced to use the BKB to get it out, but unfortunately he breaks the leash and he dies anyway. DR347 does end up falling. Only member alive left is the Fire Burns' Mars, who is beating a hasty retreat. But yikes, that was a good fight for the side of Maggie 2 minutes, but unfortunately Pepper Rebel managed to turn around with the late arrival of CK and K. So pretty big swing once again for the side of the arena, and now they're going to be pushing in towards the Dire base, hoping to finally take this mid-rax, or this last mid-rax rather. Can Tefire Burns defend his base all by his lone son? Not alive. I think once he got the spear, once he got the blink in, it was kind of too late, I'd say. Homing Missile is used as well as the Rage on Revelicious in order to get this Rax, and they end up taking Rax anyway. So that's a full lane of Rax given up by Maggie 2 minutes for this to the side of Pepper Rebel. And thanks to that push out, they're probably looking for more, but nah, they're just gonna back out. Especially as Chick Kicks and Fire Burns is still alive, they can easily defend these lanes of Rax. So they have two more lanes remaining, not the end of the world yet, for the side of Maggie 2 minutes. Meanwhile, Revelicious and the rest of Pepper Rebel are staying up here while David, of course, is farming away from the team. He does have the Aghanim Scepter, so it makes his charging boy very very fast. I'd say. CKNK is silenced. Does he have enough? No, he still has the mana allowed to take it away. Unfortunate. Is he going for this? Yeah, he is. No. He's cancelled at the last second, realizing he'll be running into the Fire Burns if he does so. Burnsy though is level 24, not bad. However, they end up going anyway. Is that the gobble up? It is the gobble up because it is time for the kisses to come in. Call on is also used. They do manage to catch the Fire Burns with that stun, but the first use of that Aghanim Scepter and that Avalanche is enough. Revelicious is in trouble. Goodman is dead, and they manage to get another set of stuns and that Abyssal Blade coming in, really saving his life. Revelicious is now hitting hard at Euro 347. They do end up spotting Chick Kicks has managed to kill Gracie, but they do spot the BTM, but BTM is saved by the use of that arena, and so all that control has finally come home to roost. Revelicious is dead. Crazy Monkey ends up paying for his life. As a result, another series of stuns It's going to be used by Goodman. Goodman is dead. Buyback has been used by David. David is now in trouble. David's about to be hit by the stun. And another ice path as well as that magic missile. What is he waiting for? No, no, no. It is not enough to take him out. But he has a homing missile, and the missiles Rocket Barrage manages to take him down. A massive win for the side of Maggie 2 minutes. Thanks to them finally being able to get the control that they needed over Rebellicious's Life Stealer. So 5-man wipe and a buyback nonetheless. Let's take a look at the buyback situation. Yes, that's right. Two buybacks were used actually by Pepper Rebel, and both of them were diebacks as well. So they will be losing this David and Goodman for a significant amount of time. Fire Burns and the rest of Maggie 2 minutes are still very much in this. They have the means in order to be able to win out, I'd say. They just need a couple more fights like that. Like, no pressure. Just 2 more big win fights for them. And I think they should be back into this. Again, they have really great team fights. They just need to be able to land all that team fight and control. So let's see if Maggie 2 minutes can pull out this one. The only hero alive for the side of at the moment is Wacy. Wacy again does have that Aghanim Scepter, so the gobble up is going to be very useful. Not just to save his opponent, not just to save his teammate, but also to start initiations specifically. Meanwhile, a large number of wars being placed here in the Dire Triangle. They probably protect the triangle to allow Crazy Monkey time to continue to farm up. He does have he is now trying to get that BKB in order to survive the Static Storm. In order to be able to survive Static Storm pretty much. Although he does know the Static Storm now mute, so I think he has to activate it before it enters the fight. So that's something he needs to consider. Meanwhile, on the other side, you have the rest of the heroes of the Radiant side. Pepper Rebel grouping up now. I mean, they can though, because David does have global range with this Shard of Darkness. He does have the Shadow Blade used, which will allow to protect him during his charge. Meanwhile, on the other side, M2M is pretty much grouped up. They're looking for a fight. Can they find one? Depending on the result of the smoke, they're probably hoping. Especially as David is just walking up to them. David is a bit of trouble. He is forced to use the BKB, and now he has been stunned up. And the bash does come in. David is dead. A successful smoke gank for the side of Maggie 2 minutes. And now without David for 81 seconds, with no buyback, of course, they can now look either take further push out the bot, which the Fire Burns and BTM are doing, or continue to farm, which Crazy Monkey is doing. And you can also opt to just go back to the top lane because Rebel Pepe, the Pepper Rebel does push up deep into it like what VR and the Fire Burns ends up doing as well. Chick Kicks is still joining BTM here in the bot. He does have level 25 up, which means he does have that minus 8-second avalanche cooldown. Avalanche is now about 6 seconds, so now it's pretty much chain stuns. They do manage to get the Dream Coil on everyone, but the cooldown has been used. Crazy Monkey is dead once again. BTM is in trouble. BTM is been blinked out, and he does manage to use that BKB to save his life, but the arena finally coming in. BTM is dead. Goodman though is in trouble. Macro Fire has finally been used, and the snap and Goodman, or rather, Wacy is dead. Nullifier has been used by the rebellious one in order to try and get any closer, but they do manage to land him with the stuns, and he is dead. CKNK does fall. The kisses does come in really hard. It does take out the Fire Burns. Fall down has been used. Is this enough to kill Wacy? No, it's not. Wacy does survive. Chick Kicks falls, and the only person left alive is DR. DR though has to defend his high ground against a onslaught of 4 Pepper Rebel heroes. Can DR do it? That was initially a great fight, but then it became a disaster. Remember what I said, that they needed to win these next few fights in order to regain permanent control of this game? Yeah, that didn't happen for side of Maggie 2 minutes. Fire has now been used by by Izjakiro, the who does have the Aghanim Scepter, so it means it will pass through BKB. Is he going to attempt? No, he's not. Especially as he does hit the Shadow Blade in order for him to get out, and he does manage to force the two buybacks, one onto Fire Burns and one on BTM. So this may be it. The Mikey 2 minutes have to commit themselves to this one. Two buybacks have already been used. They have to find something with this deal, although they're not able to find anyone easily because Pepper Rebel is still very much pushed far back. Um, let's see. Nullifier, and he does have the Blink Dagger. That's an interesting item use. He does Backpack Nullifier at the moment, so he can start regaining mana for himself. While on this side, Crazy Monkey not having yet to hit level 25. Probably that's why he's the one doing the lanes. He needs that experience in order for him to get what I think may be the counter spell magic. Because it makes sense. You have so much magic damage in this game that they have to get the magic resistance in order for him to survive through everything that they're going to throw. TP back in by Chick Hicks. Is this the fight they want to take? The division situation. They do have a ward. They managed to take out a couple of wards here. But they do have a ward here, which does spot out any movements by the side of the. But it doesn't matter though because BTM managing to take out David by himself. Chick Hicks has fallen to, oh wow, and that's a lot of globs of Mortimer's Kisses coming in. The Fire Burns is gone as well, and Burns is the more critical kill. He dies with having just bought back, so that's 115 seconds of no Mars for this one. Can Maggie 2 minutes hold long enough? They're hoping, of course, the BTM now with all this damage, he does have the data was fully completed on his Tiny. So yikes, that is not a good look for for the side of Pepper Rebel. I don't think no mind, especially as Roshan is once again falling to the quickness. It does have the Aghanim Scepter upgrade. Who will be getting it? It will be Rebelicious, which means he now has the Infest, which allows him to infest a target enemy around it. Yes, that is correct. Yes, it allows him to target an enemy, disabling them, harming them, and dealing damage. And then he just converts his mother with great counter to BTM, I would say. And probably be forced him to start building up Lincolns from here on out just to avoid that fight. Just to avoid that's a really great axe to be given up to Rebelicious. Gobble Up has been used in order to spot out. However, the Aeon Disc has been popped to save himself. But again, the cooldown will get longer with every use. So I think he's lucky stars that he got bailed out by that one in the end. Gobble Up, just another initiation tool which could be used by the side of Pepper Rebel to get closer to their enemies. This one. Let's see. This top fight looking like it's gonna be it for all the marbles. Rage has been used. The top tower is down. Tier 3 is down, and the Rax is coming in. CKNK does get gobbled up once more, as well as that use of the Dream Coil. However, on the other side of the map, Rebelicious does manage to take out Chick Hicks. Chick Hicks is dead. BKB has been used, as well as the Static Storm. The Static Storm, however, remember that mute means that he has no escape. Crazy Monkey is dead. Crazy Monkey is going to buy him back. Arena and Spear has been used. Aegis, Lucky Pop, but nope. Goodman is dead. BKB has been used. And wow, it does also reveal that he does have a refresher. Gwasi is in a bit of a spot of trouble. Can Gwasi save himself? No, not at the expense of his core, I'd say. Especially as, I don't know, Gwasi does manage to save CKNK, but at the cost of his life. David as well managing to get out, thanks of course to the use of that boost of travel. And yes, that is correct. They do lose a top rack. As it turns out, the melee racks is still up and starting to regen, so that's kind of painful. And now they'll lose not only Aegis, but 3 heroes as well. Although two of them have buybacks, they do also lose Gwasi, who died in the previously bought back in one of the earlier fights. So now they realize, okay, we are strong. We're going to be forcing buybacks now. let's start making that push. Tier 3s are now going really fast, for especially now that BTM has the shard, which means that tree throws attacks. This tree has no limit. Gives him a free battle fury, I'd say. However, the backdoor protection though is protecting him until you realize just how hard BTM hits. Um, Fortify has been used. Renaissance Stealer is gonna come back in about a second. However, wow, that excellent use of the Waning Rift as well as the Waning Rift enhanced call. The Dream Coil pop means it allows him to isolate and kill the Crazy Monkey, who is dead for 111 seconds. Bars ends up dying as well. He also bought back in the previous fight, which means it will be a 3-on-5 upward climb for Pepe Rebel. Can Pepe Rebel close out this game? They have the window. They're taking the outpost in order for them to allow Gracie to TP in. This is it. This is the final fight. If M2M can hold long enough, if that is, of course, if they can hold it long enough, but then they manage to catch out BTM. BTM is hit with everything. Called 3x call down has been used. Goodman is in trouble. The Glimpse back is called. BTM and Rebel and CKNK is trying to go at each other. Goodman does end up falling to the supports, but is it going to be enough to save his life? Maybe not, because it's hit with the nether strike, and the Avalanche may have temporarily saved his life, but I think that is it. Yeah, I think this is game. They have no avenue anymore against Pepe Rebel. Pepe Rebel just run away with this one. Buyback is used by DR, but it's just going to be just the supports holding on against this tide. And Megas has now come in for Pepe Rebel, which means that this game is going to be over quite soon. Sooner rather than later, I'd say. Actually, not no. Now they have Megas. Apologies for that one. I realized that top lane of Raxel hasn't been taken until now. Megas is in play for Pepe Rebel. Both these supports valiantly defending their top lane, but maybe not for long though. Chick Hicks does it with everything, as well as that, as well as the Mortimer's Kisses. The stun though is used by, however, the arena does come in. Do they have one more fight left in them? But the gobble up save by Gwei-C. Gwei-C, well played to you, sir. And now they have no more arenas to play with for about 76 seconds. So that was bad. That was darn bad for the side of Mr. Gwei-C. Great save with the use of that gobble up to save him from certain death. Crazy Monkey is once again forced to flee. He does manage to pop BKB before he flees from this life stealer. And again, Megas are coming up, so let's see if they're capable of executing this one. But not if Revolution anything to say about it. He does manage to catch out DR. DR is forced to use the Timberkit to protect himself. Gracie now has been caught by the Ice Path and the Macro Fire called on used as well, just to make sure they kill Gracie. Goodman though is caught by the Ice Path and the Spear of Mars. However, the Glimmerkit may have saved him for a moment, but it's not going to be able to save him permanently. DR though is dead, and now in comes David. David with the hard charge. He just managed to take out Crazy Monkey. Crazy Monkey is dead. 120 seconds full buyback. However, guess who's back? It's BTM. BTM manages to come in. They do manage to kill CKNK, and he is dead as well. However, the Fireburns has fallen. The Fireburns immediately buying back because, like I said, this is it. They lose this fight. They lose the rest of this game. Can they get this one? Toss up is used, and they finally get him. Killing spree streak given up by Rebelicious against BTM and the rest of Maggie 2 Minutes. Is this last stand going to be the one that ultimately allows Maggie 2 Minutes to secure the victory, or can Pepper Rebel scale the mountain and defeat Maggie 2 Minutes, who is, as King Lear would say, they're still the king. They're not out of this yet.
They're still very much in play, and now BTM is hard charging down to the mid lane, hoping to take some more racks and hopefully help equalize the situation. Although I'm not really a fan of, well, never mind though. I am a fan of now him doing that because it's tier 5's time. It's time for them to bring in the true game-ending items. Tier 5's has been brought up, or is in, and now thanks to that hit, it means that, whoops, there goes your racks. That's how quickly this guy can take racks. Mortimer's cases is pop. BTM though is in a spot of trouble. He can hold though. I don't think buybacks will be committed by the side of. Um, I think buybacks will be committed by the side of Rebel Pepe for this one, especially as they will just take a couple of racks. Gobble Up has been used and to save his life as well as Static Storm. BTM is dead. He does have buyback, but the Fire Burns does not end the rest of Rebel Pepe. Pepper Rebel does manage to come in and take off the Fire Burns. 122 seconds, no buyback. And what was looking to be a great initiation turned out to be a horror show as they lose their mid and their off lane. And now they can just once again waltz in and end this. They're not taking tier 5s at all though. I'm surprised though that Crazy Monkey didn't also farm for tier 5. Probably should have though, I'd say. Crazy Monkey does recognize this in the attempts to save his life. Unfortunately, he might be dead from this one. However, they do manage to catch 2 heroes. Crazy Monkey is dead, but the buyback has been committed. Invest is used to save the life of the life stealer, and David allows him to back off. Rebelicious and David with the infest bomb managing to cast DR, and while CKNK does manage to come in as well, the Nether Strike has been used on BTM and DR347, and that is it. The carries, the cores are dead. The supports are rather Crazy Monkey trying to hold on, and GG has been called. M2M decide that they have done all they can. They're backing out of this one. Pepe Rebel take game 1 of this best of 2 series. Great win for Pepe Rebel. Just taking advantage of the fact that the lineup is a lot easier to execute, I'd say. So great work for Pepe Rebel, managing to take game 1 against the veteran team in a minute. Let's take a look at match request first. There you go. Okay, so Pepe Rebel managed to take a 1-hour game. I'm surprised that they didn't go for tier 5s in that one. The only tier 5 I saw was this. Never mind. It should have been the Stygian, but I digress. So Pepe Rebel managed to take a really long game from 90 to minutes. Hold on. We will have to switch windows. Yes, as we are in the post game, please don't need to see the Crocodile anymore. Pepe Rebel taking game 1 against 92 minutes. As stated, Pepe Rebel's draft was a lot easier to execute. Specifically, they made great plays on every single hero of this team. My choice for MVP has to be CKNK's Puck. This guy was just the one making all things possible. His excellent use of the local orb as well as movements across the map, setting up everything for his team means that Pepe Rebel just have the advantage on almost every fight. It's a great job from this Puck creating chaos and havoc and ensuring that 92 minutes won't be able to counter back. My Scub MVP for this game has to be David. David did a really good job on this hero, just charging in, looking for avenues and openings whenever possible. So David, also winning his top lane against Crazy Monkey did help them in securing this one. And my honorable mention MVP for the side of 92 minutes has to go to BTM. BTM tried his best to carry his team. He got the right items, managed to get the kills in the backline that were needed. Unfortunately, this was a far too tanky Pepe Rebel team. Probably was hoping he'd go for something that dealt a bit more damage, but I understand the so it didn't really have that many Ava boss targets. They just didn't have enough control to take down either CKNK or Rebellious Delicious. So that's it for game 1 of this one. Stick around though, because game 2 will be following right after this. I am Aaron Zero. Thank you, so long, and good night.